So many wanted to have a king once so long ago. We had been told you need no king, but we were appointed one anyway, and there began to be many kingdoms, many rulers, wars, taxes, and loss of freedom. We thought of how we had one more thing to do, for wearing a crown did not make us any more special than anyone else. Our crowns were heavy on our heads. It was not necessary to rule, we said. Once we had wished to rule one another, even the stars and the moon and the sun. So we gathered all the crowns together and stripped them of their jewels, and yet again we folded ourselves like a book. We realized that we did not need to wear a crown, for no one of us wanted to rule over another one. We remembered days of old when we had made for ourselves a king, and how after that things had gotten worse. We realized that all that is does not rule. All that is a creating God, and we were co-creators with all that is. And this is right here, the stage of the crown. When you fold it again, that crown will become, don't show it to me. The crown becomes the seed. And you see, it's a seed that's sprouting. In the middle there is sprouting something. So we just sort of stretched ourselves, and we discovered that we had found the dove. The dove had descended and had ascended too. And we became the seed, and we were sprouting from our middle, and it was a head and a tail that wanted to emerge. Now you take the crown and fold it both forward and backward like a book that is closing both ways. It then is at the seed stage. This seed is now ready to sprout. A head and a tail are coming from it. You gently pull the flaps down, and there you have the dove. See? And do you see what is in the middle? It is the pyramid, the mountain that we thought was in our way, and it has been centering us all along. I like to call it Big Bird arising out of the ashes, the phoenix. We were love, we were home, we could fly and we could soar, and no more was there any strings attached, no more heavy dross, and before us stretched an endless sky. We're soaring still, thousands upon thousands of us, and we know that we are one. We are in the beginning of the end breath of all that is, and we are going home. We are many. 3 great cycles are all ending at the same time, and it is a cosmic moment of great import. We are on the cutting edge of something that has never been done before. Excitement mounts. And we know our direction. When we fly home, we all go at the same time. You know the story never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. One day I started writing it, knowing what it was, and I continued writing it forever, just because. And when I looked at the dove and I realized that all it is had given this story to me, I saw in this statement what it is that we all must do. We must be cause. We have always been the effect and not the cause. But now it is time to know that we can and will be the cause. Just because I am. There is no more fear, no more reason for nations and families to war with one another. Welcome aboard. The spaceship Earth is moving through, and into view is its new crew. And I have it filled with little kids, because the little kids will show no fear. And maybe they'll be the first occupants of the first big craft that goes up, and we will see the little children leading the way. Our biggest challenge is simple. It is to have no fear and to be happy. The Bible says in many places, fear not, and in all things rejoice. And again I say rejoice. We must be trusting as a child is, not childish, but trusting, but childlike in having faith in God, in ourselves, and in one another. For earth is one in love right now. Earth is touching the outer sphere of which the darkness disappears, and oneness is known to all the galaxies. For earth has come to light the way, to take us forward and onward as a lead planet, going beyond the central sun, going beyond the spiritual, to the etheric, to the ethers. Earth has a special place in this universe, for it is Earth that will go forward and seed many new worlds. Our space brothers and many ascended masters are helping us, but they cannot do it for us. It is up to us to learn to be cause. Be the gold you seek, and that means to know that we are one with all that is. And all the space brothers gather around to watch the bride as she enters the church, where love is waiting to claim the bride. After staying out of sight for so long now, while preparations and fancy trimmings and host and hostess prepare. And I tried to show like the sun, and here's the earth, and she's the bride, and here's all the other planets around that are watching this whole event, because she is to be wed to the sun. How like a wedding this event is. The bride cannot see the groom on the morning of the day of the wedding. All eyes are on the bride as she enters the aisle. All our brothers and sisters from all over the universe have been preparing the bride for this grand wedding. And she enters, all dressed in white, for she is pure now, having gone through the purification process. No, it was not easy, but nothing worthwhile is ever easy. And they are preparing for the wedding. The groom awaits the lovely bride with anticipation, for she is to claim the heart, of which he has awaited his princess in shining ornaments. A princess in shining ornaments sure is better than a prince in shining armor, yet there was the day when that was what was needed. It is to be honored, all the princes who have ever marched off to war. Now, however, we are entering the day when the law of the jungle no longer applies. No more will the saying be, the survival of the fittest, but the reign of the most loving. And to come and take, he's awaiting the bride to come and take, not by violence and not by words, but by the feeling of great anger and anguish, being born and raised out of its conquering past, when only it would rule. And I show this cup with one last little drop of anger and anguish. No more hate, let's all create. Get ready for something big. We are about to enter into the latter days, which were talked about as being so much grander than the former days. Begin now to love all that is by loving all that is. Love your enemy. Love your problems. See them as opportunities and stepping stones to where you want to go. Your enemies are your best teachers, for who else could teach you unconditional love? Jesus knew what was powerful when he said to us to love our enemies. The heavens rejoice. The wedding banquet tables are prepared for a feast of fat things well refined, for anger and anguish are purified. We are all of us the bride, and spirit is about to enter into matter fully. You are ready now to take another evolution of which you long for. It is an evolution of which many others are taking together with you. For your feelings are all that have mattered. Your feelings are all that you ever need to know what is the path. The God that you are just has to grow, and fear must not hold you back, for fear is only false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. There is only God, only good. All else is unreal. The false evidence, the Maya, the illusion, the dream. Why feed it with our thoughts any longer? Why focus any attention on that is unreal? Be part of the gathering critical mass that will usher in the new age. Be willing to imagine what you wish, not what appears to be real. Be willing to trust your heart more than your head. Lop off your heads, get into your hearts. You need not fear now, for you are a God, and you do share power with, not power over. The God and Goddess are one. And that is the end of the dove story. And this spelling of power is P-O-W-A-H, power, power with, not power over. And that makes all the difference. And I want to show you this thing here that I made. This is the angel stage. You see, you can see this one is an angel, but when you fold all the points up of the angel, you make the crown. Now, the crown is like we are rulers. We must rule over one another, but not so. Lay down your crown. And if you lay down 16 crowns, they form a circle. And I call this a portal, because once we do see that we need not fear one another and we need not rule one another, then we are creating a portal into another dimension. And some of us think it is the 5th dimension, that we are in the 3rd, stepping on the 4th like a stepping stone to go into the 5th. And I think we're going to really enjoy the 5th dimension. I wish I knew more about it, but I think it is a wonderful place and that we will all be very happy there. Only there will be like here, because we're creating this heaven on earth. And there's one thing I'm sure of: until we create heaven on earth, we can't go off and be raptured into some heavenly place, because we bring heaven down to earth. We make the as below as the above, as within as without. It's up to us to be the saviors that we look forward to. We have to be the saviors ourselves. No one can save us but ourselves. And we must be the gold that we seek. It's up to us. We're given help, and we're going to be given some mighty big help, but it can't really come until we know a little bit more about ourselves and what we are capable of. We have within us potential that is like a potency that right now is impotent. We can't right now with our words say to the sea, be calm. If we could have done that, we would have calmed that sea and we wouldn't have had that tsunami in Japan. But when we get together and we learn that our words and thoughts and imagination are very powerful, then we can stop any raging sea and make it calm as Jesus did. But we must grow in our love for one another and our acceptance and our grand ideas of being separate. We must give up and realize that if anyone hurts in this world, we all hurt. And so that we help our brothers and we don't do things that would cause division anymore between ourselves and others. And this is just the only way to go. is what I'm thinking. Otherwise, we could just destroy ourselves on this earth. But I think that's going to be avoidable because enough of us are waking up and we're realizing that we are one. That is the biggest thing, to realize our oneness with everyone else. Not only everyone in this world, but we have fellow facetors. I made that word up in there. Facetors. We have fellow citizens of other worlds. From out there, what we call outer space, which in actuality I think is inner space. They're all within us because everything that you can imagine is within you. The immensity of that tininess of this infinitely small is that all that's out there can be in here, in us, in that little seed. And we can grow and build worlds, and we have experience now with what not to do. We definitely have experience with that. And that will become something good because it will give us the ability to know what to do and to do it good. So I'm looking forward to creating worlds with some of you. And I'm looking forward to meeting some of you. And also to growing younger. And also to flying. I love the idea of flying. So I will let you go now. This is the Dove Lady, over and out. I hope this has helped people to understand a few things. Bye-bye for now.